Hey guys, I am in the hillside right next to the overlook structure. You can see the butterfly garden in the distance, the blue chairs, and we are going to talk about Hedera helix, or English ivy. So Hedera helix, the specific epithet in Greek, means twisted or spiral. The leaf arrangement is alternate, the leaf form is simple, and the leaf margin is serrated when juvenile and then lobed with maturity. But this particular cultivar is pretty lobed as it is. This one is called Ivalace. So it just varies. But the whole point of that is that while Hedera helix is a vine that can be a ground cover as well, so long as it's maintained on the ground, it stays in the juvenile phase. But once it's able to climb, it'll reach its mature phase and the leaves become totally different. And I'll try and find some photos to share with you about that. But you can see you've got more serrations on these newer, less mature leaves. So this is a plant that goes through a metamorphosis over time. It is a vine and a ground cover, depending on which way you want to use it. It's broadleaf and evergreen. As a ground cover, we don't designate a height because we are making the assumption it's 12 inches high or less. But as a vine, it can grow to 50 feet in height, and its spread is indeterminate. This is an invasive species. We'll reference that on the back side of our sheet, but that's part of the reason why it will take over. And it's not picky about soil, it's not picky about moisture, nothing specific about pruning. Growth rate is rapid, exposure to light is partial to shade. Climactic hardiness zones 6 through 9. Landscape uses: fences, ground cover, topiary, and even erosion control. We don't consider the flowers or the fruit to be significant. As I said, to be able to flower, it has to reach maturity. So oftentimes in the landscape, we see it used as it is here, which is a ground cover. And so it'll never flower in that way. Fruit is insignificant. If it doesn't flower, it can't produce fruit. Autumn color is not applicable. Leaf texture is coarse. Other leaf details: dark green with gray veins most often. These aren't necessarily gray veins, but they're a definite lighter color vein. You're going to find some of this varies from cultivar to cultivar. For notable cultivars, I did not include Ivalace, and I guess I should have, because that's what's here in our garden. I tend to look at more colorful versions. So Glacier is a popular one. It's a white and green variegated form, a very almost blue green or silvery green in effect. Midas Touch is another that has a bright gold and green variegation. For pests and diseases, this plant suffers from scale, aphids, mealybugs, and it can also get fungal and or bacterial leaf spots. So we know it is an invasive species. It is not North Carolina native, not U.S. native. It is salt tolerant. It can be used indoors as an interior plant. You often see these used in the floral industry with dish gardens and other combos. Hardiness can be cultivar dependent. So some cultivars are going to be more or less hardy. And it climbs by aerial roots, and you can see it will root at every node, and you can see those right there at my thumb. Those are some roots, and they're just looking for something to adhere to. So they will either adhere along the ground as a ground cover, and we can see one stem there trying to go up the holly, or they'll attach to the bark. They'll attach to the brick or the mortar or the siding of your house, and that could be negative in effect. So I would it's a plant that needs constant maintenance to keep it in bounds. This planting here has gotten a little irregular, and it's creeping and spreading everywhere. So one of my targets is to kind of get this back in bounds, if you will. So we are, this is, oh, I don't have it noted on my sheet where this is located. I'll have to follow up with you, but like I said, we're at the hillside near the overlook.
We'll link it in the description.
Thank you.